This is Kumaraswamy Mahavidyalaya, Ausa district, Latur, Maharashtra, India. Is running daily international conferences. This is running from last 4 years, and we are completed more than 1,300 events of such conferences. Every day we request and invite to the resource persons, and they accept our invitation with our request. And today also we are here to listen from Samaneh madam, who is from Isfahana University of Technology, Iran. If there is mistake in name, please forgive me. And she will
No, that is.
she will deliver on identity quest in literary work. She is the researcher, and moreover she is related to library and references. So this topic is related to her literary work. He is from English department, so that now we request her to deliver a topic on identity quest in literary works. Thank you, ma'am, and I welcome all the participants, those who are joined before time as per daily. Thank you.
First of all, I should say hi, and then thank you very much, Dr. Beskar, for inviting me and creating such opportunity for me to join you. It is my first kind of international conference. I haven't been in any other international conferences, honestly speaking, and it's an honor to be with you. I wish that the connection would be okay. You know that there are a lot of problems in the connection in our country, and I wish that my voice would be clear. And if there is any problem, just tell me. I can maybe connect with my cell phone or whatever. So as you said, yeah, my name is Samo. You want to make it a little bit shorter and easier to pronounce. And I have the master degree of English literature. So when you just asked me to come, a kind of means that to have a kind of I don't know conference and talk about something. The first thing that came to my mind was this kind of identity in literary works, because I really like it, and it's something that when I read novels, I come across this kind of topic a lot. And especially my thesis for master degree, it was somehow about alienation, identity, and it was interestingly about a writer. He was an Indian writer, V.S. Naipaul, A House for Mr. Biswas. I don't know you have read it or not, but somehow I want to just give you some kind of maybe general thing about identity in literary works. This who am I is a question that has been puzzled and the philosopher's mind and psychologicals and even individuals for over centuries, and they always it's very complex to answer this question, who we are. Today I want to tell you about some different approaches about identity. But when we want to explore identity, we look at it into different and various kind of perspective, such as cultural, racial, gender, somehow socio-economic level, and stuff like that. So, and after that, you will see that these literary works can challenge us a lot, and can challenge our assumption to broaden our understanding of what kind of people we are generally, and the meaning of the human being. So there are a lot of thought-provoking collection of literary works that they generally work on identity, such as I told you, A House for Mr. Biswas. It's a post-colonial novel by V.S. Naipaul. Another one is White Sargasso Sea by Jean Roy. I'm not sure that you have read them or not. It's a prequel. After that, we are going to talk about it. It's a prequel to a novel by Charlotte Bronte, Jane Eyre. And so we have some other writers such as Alice Walker, for example, The Color Purple, or even The Catcher in the Rye, or the other things. But I don't want to talk a lot about each one of them. Maybe two of the novels I want to describe them a little bit more. But first of all, let me give you a very general understanding of what identity is. So identity, as I told you, is a kind of question that has been engaged the philosopher's mind for a long time, and all the time they want to know how one person can perceive the same over a long period of time, and they face a consistent person during a lot of changes we have. It's a kind of biological changes we have in our life. But we will see that in literary works, it allows us to see that there are different dimensions that it can play, it can integrate we as the human being as one sense of self. So in literary works, we have two types of narratives that they focus on identity. One of them is a classical Bildungsroman. It's a kind of German word, and it started in late 18th century. In this kind of novels, it wants to just say the development and the education of usually a male protagonist, that this male protagonist is going to develop and mature during a lot of processes. And at the end, that person is going to be harmoniously, be in a kind of harmonious relationship with the society around. But this is a kind of very naive kind of understanding of identity based on the postmodern studies. And the postmodern studies say that it's not like that, because the society now is going to deny the existence of unified, and we don't have just one meaning in the world, and we don't have a unified self. And there is also all the time there is a kind of fragmentation in the society, and we are going to face a lot of alienation through the society. That this kind of sense of self and identity, we struggle to come up to a maybe understanding of ourselves through this problematized and fragmented or alienated world. And we will see that usually the protagonists and the characters in these novels, they try their best to make a kind of to find themselves in the society, and this society put them a lot of pressure on them, that they want to find themselves through this kind of society. So again, there are two approaches. There is an humanist approach, and in the humanist approach they say that people are trying to find the truth inside themselves, and they don't want to think about the influences of the things that is put on us from the outside. But the post-structuralists say that no, we are not just dealing with our inside. So our society is going to put a lot of pressure on us, and this is not a stable meaning of identity. So there are a lot of clash between social expectations, how the society expects us to do, and then we want to somehow establish ourselves and our identity. So as I told you, there are different dimensions of how the people are trying to search their identity in their life. One of them is that identity and cultural hybridity. So this usually comes across into the immigrations and the immigrants. For example, when I'm reading the writers who are Iranian immigrants, and I read their works of art and their novels somehow, I will see that they are experiencing a sense of the other. They are shattered in everywhere. They don't think themselves as the country they are and their own even country. So they are in a kind of limbo situation. They are in between and they really don't know who they are. They are shattered in every way, in their language, their home, their memories, their childhood, their, I don't know, their belief, everything. And as Edward Said said that we call this kind of people strangers, or we call them hybrid or homeless identity, and they don't belong themselves, or they don't think that they belong to anywhere. So, and they have a lot of problem. So, for example, as I told you, in White Sargasso Sea, that is written by Jean Rye, and it's a prequel to Jane Eyre's, what Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre. In this novel, Jean Rye wants to give voice to the mad woman, Mr. Rochester's mad woman in Jane Eyre, and it wants to say what has happened to her, that she is so much alienated, and they call her she's mad. And it's really beautifully the writer tries to say that, tries to show that what problem has happened to her, that this kind of she is searching a lot through a lot of problems that she had, and she's searching a lot to find herself. And there is a mirror all the time repeated in the novel, that she wants to see herself into this mirror, and she never can have a mirror in her life. So it means that in the childhood, she didn't have any family. She was from a Creole family. She was neither black nor white. It was a kind of political situation, the time when Emancipation Act happened, and it was the time when a lot of black people started to call her white cockroach, and the white people call her white nigger, and she thought that she's nowhere. Okay, what she is, she's neither black nor white, and neither the society nor her family, her mom, accepts her. Even if when she got married with Mr. Rochester, because of money, of course, we will see that there was a problem. And then Mr. Rochester, she thought that Mr. Rochester is going to be a person who is going to give her a voice and support her. But very so sadly, you saw that even Mr. Rochester betrays her in front of her eyes and slept with her servant, with their servant, and everything is shattered in front of her eyes. So, and then she is, they put a sticker on her, I don't know, somehow on her identity that she's mad, and put her into the attic room. And in the attic room, she frequently says that I didn't have any mirror and I couldn't see myself. And she says all the time, who am I? And I wanted to say that all this kind of thing, that we have this kind of sense of alienation, happens when we are pressured by the society. Identity is not something that we are searching through it inside ourselves. It means that the society so put a high pressure on us to make ourselves. And so we will see that in our life, even it happens a lot. We try to make ourselves as a person to have a voice, and we will see that this doesn't maybe happen. It's sometimes a very futile effort. But sometimes it's futile, sometimes it's not so much futile. So going back to A House for Mr. Biswas, Mr. Biswas is from an Indian culture, but he's in a lower society, and means a lower I don't know, okay, we can say economical situation than his in-laws family. And we will see that his in-laws family, that is called Tulsi family, put a lot of pressure on him, and they say, you should listen to us, you don't have any voice and you cannot do anything. And frequently from the beginning till the end of the novel, he's trying to break all kind of norms like that why should I listen to these kind of maybe higher class family, and I want a house. Again, in this one, house is not just a house, it's a kind of sense of belonging, and he wanted to become a person who has a voice. But interestingly, we will see that Mr. Biswas could make a house for himself. It is something that what Antoinette in White Sargasso couldn't make an identity for herself. And maybe it is the problem of the women that maybe at that time they didn't have voice. It was less than now somehow, and they didn't even it's because of the gender again, and this kind of becoming a woman, she couldn't even make a voice. Her husband even take her name out of it and didn't call her with her own real name, and started to call her Berta, but her name was Antoinette. And she said, why you are calling me like that? So I have a name. But because of that kind of higher position, he was English, he could do these things with the maybe lower class society. They started to do it, and it make this kind of sense of madness, hallucinations, and this kind of problem happen to these two especially kind of characters. It means that if you read all kind of works of art that they deal with the matter of identity, you will see that all of them, they are suffering from a kind of maybe psychological problem, because the other and the society don't want them to be themselves, and they want to stop them from doing something. And because they cannot match themselves with the society, so the people call them mad, and so try to alienate them from the society completely like that. So this is something that maybe you have seen in a lot of novels, or even in our life. So this is the main thing. I wanted to make it so simple. I didn't want to talk about Marxist things, because Marxism talk about alienation, and it's going to be a kind of a little bit complex issue. But I just wanted you to maybe become a kind of motivation if you want to read any kind of novel and pay attention to these things, and maybe you knew about them, but it was something that really attracted my attention a lot when reading some kind of literary works. And these are very repeated themes in literary works. So if there is any question, if there is any problem, anything that you want to add, it would be really happy. But I know that the time, I think that the time doesn't match with the time that we were supposed to have. Maybe there is a problem, because our country decided to not to put the clock forward for 2 years, and then we have the fixed time. So you know that in 6 months of the year they don't change the time. So if
Thank
there is
you.
anything that you
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to provide.
Thank you, Samin ma'am. Being in office, you have joined here on a request, and it's a very nice speech by you. Because the literature you have read and explained here, it was very nice one, because the stories in the novel are related to our social problems, social issues. Mostly you have related the novels about the women issues, they what they facing in the society. So we get the new knowledge from you. I request you, you can share such a novel PDF to us. I will share to read to our participants. Now I request all the participants, you can ask questions if you have, she have very less time, but we can discuss. Anyone from you, please.
So if you want to ask any question, it's okay. You can ask question.
Yeah.
And so, of course, there are a lot of parts in the novels that I can show you that how the character is trying to find herself, and she frequently says that, "Who am I? What am I doing here in the world?" And maybe this is the same thing that we are asking ourselves all the time. So, what we are doing in the world now? And what kind of person we are really in. So maybe it is a kind of question that we are asking spiritually, means that we want to see that where we are from or the other things. But really, what makes us as what we are is really important. How our family is treating us so changes us so much, and we are going to go through a lot of problems or maybe success in our life. So it would be really, I would be really happy if you have anything that you want to add. So
I request participants, if you want to discuss with our resource person, they can. Anyone from joined resource person can discuss or can give some share by you also.
No, what's the center idea of that novels and what to do for coming soon for everyone?
you want the name of the novel?
No, no. What is
No,
the
no.
theme?
What is
Central idea. Theme of that story.
The theme, the theme of the story of White Sargasso Sea is that search of identity and giving voice to a person who doesn't have voice in Charlotte Bronte's novel. If you have read Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, you will see that there is just once or twice that Mr. Rochester said, "I have a wife and my wife is mad." And at the end, you will see that this mad wife set the house in a fire and she kills herself. But Jane Eyre means that 100 years later, 1 century later, started to write a novel. It's a post-colonial novel, and wants to say, why? Who is this woman? What has happened to her? Maybe because of the things that Mr. Rochester had done to her started. So it is a kind of alienation and identity search is the theme of this novel. And it's
no?
a kind
Okay,
of
okay, nice.
post-colonial.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Prashant sir, and thank you to our resource person. First time she had delivered a speech in international conferences, as she was saying, but it's very nice speech. We understood everything. You are requested to
Thank you.
join in future also. If you have new topic, it's always welcome
That's
by you. And you can also recommend your contacts, friends to join here as a speaker. We accept any topic. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
From all
Thank you
my
very much, and thank you for participating, and thank you for listening.
yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
very
Thank
much.
you from all my
Thank you.
participants, and we are waiting
Okay.
for your new speech in future also. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Just a smile for our
Have-
self linked. Just smiling
sorry.
face for the linked photograph. who can.
Yeah, you want to take it? Okay.
Yeah.
Screenshot, please.
Yeah, screenshot. Yes, yes. It's 1 second. Thank you to all those who are joined here and opened their camera. We welcome always all the resource person. We will meet again, and she will again deliver a talk in future as per I will give her time. Thank you. Now you can resume your
That would
duties.
be
Thank
my
you, ma'am.
that would be my pleasure. Okay, that would be my honor. So thank you very much and have a nice time. Thank you very much. Have a nice weekend for you.
Yeah,
But
thank
for
you.
us is not is the
Same,
beginning.
same.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.